Tracking the latest Bitcoin ETF moves, he joins us with a special guest today, Bob.
Well, we finally made it. We're quite excited, and it looks like all 10 products for ETFs are trading right now. Let's bring in Samara Cohen. She's the Chief Investment Officer of ETFs for BlackRock. She's from the NASDAQ. Congratulations, Samara. You made it. You're watching the trading just like I am. I wonder how you could characterize the initial trading. I'm looking, looks like 16 million shares. I think you're the volume leader among the ETF Bitcoin products that launched today.
Good morning, Bob. I'm really excited to be here today. And yeah, this is an exciting moment, and it's a beginning, and it's orderly trading, which is what we always want to see.
So the important thing here is investors want to know how well is this going to track Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs. Can you give us your sense of that, and how is it doing this morning relative to Bitcoin?
That's exactly right, Bob. What investors look for in ETFs is performance, and performance is a couple of things. It's market quality, which is liquidity, it's spreads, and of course it's tracking. How well does this vehicle deliver what they're actually looking for, which is spot Bitcoin? And that's what investors so far haven't been able to get in an exchange traded wrapper. And so far we are optimistic that that's what we're going to be able to deliver.
So I'm looking at the spreads here. This is an early indication. This is very liquid. Consider we've got 10 products here. There's a lot of trading going on. I see spreads, you know, a few pennies essentially in your product. That's certainly a very good sign. What about inflows? 16, 17 million shares in a half an hour of trading is pretty good overall. How do you feel this product's going to do in the marketplace? What are your expectations for inflows?
So, of course, Bob, all we can track right now are secondary volumes, which, as you just talked about, we're seeing orderly trading. And inflows we're going to have to see, and we're going to have to see over time how investors are going to use Bitcoin ETFs.
Yeah, I think the important thing here is the first 45 minutes is very impressive trading. The next big question all the viewers want to know is, and the investors want to know, is when do big institutions, do they change their position? Do, for example, large financial advisors change their position? Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, admitted defeat yesterday and changed his position, but then also said we want to remind everybody that anybody recommending these products have certain fiduciary obligations. He referenced regulation best interest there. Do you think institutions are going to more widely adopt this product now that it's in this particular format?
Bob, I think this is going to be a really important journey of education for investors of all types, including institutions. Now, we know, and the reason this has happened is that investors all types of investors have really wanted access to Bitcoin through an ETF wrapper. There are other wrappers that they might want for different reasons. And so I really think this is going to be a watch this space, but this, of course, wouldn't have happened. Today wouldn't have happened without investor demand for access to Bitcoin through ETFs.
Who are you marketing this ETF towards, and what are you saying about the risks?
We're talking about, we are working with many partners and really leaning into, as I just said, this journey of education, talking about the characteristics of the wrapper, the convenience of the wrapper. And of course, to your point, it's our expectation that investors will look not just at the wrapper, but also at the underlying, as they do for ETFs of all types, and consider the volatility and the volatility characteristics in figuring out what's the right fit for this alongside any other ETFs that they have in their portfolio. But interestingly and importantly, one of the things we know from investors is they want to see their whole portfolio of risk, and they want to see it in one place. And so one of the things the ETF wrappers should do is help them more effectively manage risk by having that sort of transparency and visibility across their investments in their traditional brokerage accounts.
Finally, Samara, with so many products, price is a big issue here. You're at 12 basis points. There's several at 0 for the next 6 months. Do you see further price reductions? It seems like investors are really benefiting from so many competitors that are out there.
Bob, as you said at the beginning, investors are going to look first and foremost for performance. Performance is going to be how well the ETFs track. It's going to be market quality. And those are going to be the most important things that drive how well these do, and what is delivered to investors.
Samara Cohen, thanks very much for joining us. Appreciate it very much.